Previously on Yu-Gi-Oh!
We got a new Dark Magician, baby. Zodia got a fusion spell before us, and it's really good. You take the 5 Forbidden One pieces from hand, deck, or face-up field and reveal them, and then special their new fusion monster. What is going on, guys? It's LOZA here today, and we're looking at the Gold Sarc engine, along with the Dark Magician card that just got announced, the Dark Magician, the Ebon Sorcerer. Today, our normal summon is going to be the Tricolor Gadget, because it gets us the Gold Sarc, which gets us the Dark Magician. Let's have a look at that right now. So starting off with the Tricolor Gadget, we're going to normal summon Tricolor Gadget. We're going to use its effect. On normal or special, you can add a Gold Sarc of Light or a spell trap that mentions it from deck to hand. So there's a couple of options, but we are just going to go for the regular Gold Sarc of Light, and then we're going to activate said Gold Sarc of Light. It is a continuous spell that says cannot be destroyed by monster effects, which is a great start. During the main phase, you can add a card from your deck to hand that mentions Gold Sarc, except for itself. So we're probably going to use that effect right about now, and we're going to go get ourselves the new Dark Magician. So the Dark Magician, the Ebon Sorcerer in our hand, he says, if Gold Sarc of Light is on the field, you can summon him from the hand. So we're going to go ahead and do that, being able to summon him for free. While in the monster zone, he does identify as Dark Magician, and then if he is destroyed by card effect, or a level 5, or while a level 5 or higher monster is on the field, you can special him back and set a DM spell trap. So yeah, that's kind of the end of where we are here, but I'm going to show you a new one with Gandora that makes this combo a lot better. Okay, so for this next combo, you do need to open Tricolor Gadget, your normal summon, and you need to open either Gandora or Dark Magician. I'm not quite sure on the ratios yet, but I'm going to guess we play Dark Magician at the higher number, so we'll say that we open Dark Magician. Normal summon Tricolor Gadget, it's going to go get you Gold Sarc. Pretty much the stock standard starting combo for the Gold Sarc deck, it would seem. Then we're going to activate Gold Sarc. Use Gold Sarc effect to add a card from the deck to hand that lists Gold Sarc. It's going to be the Guess Gandora. We're going to be able to special summon Dark Magician because Gold Sarc's on the field. And then we're going to be able to special summon Gandora because, well, we have Gold Sarc on the field. We're going to use Gandora's effect here to pay half our life points to destroy all other cards on the field. As many as possible. So, Gadget's gonna die, Dark Magician's gonna die, Gold Sarc will protect itself because it isn't destroyed by monster effects. And using this Gandora effect is so we can special a level 7 or lower from deck that mentions Gold Sarc and increase its level by the number destroyed. So we destroyed 2, so whatever we summon is increased level by 2. We're gonna summon Silent Magician 0, and it's gonna be a level 6. So we might just put 2 counters on him right here. Now this guy says your opponent activates a spell card or effect while you control Gold Sarc, negate it, and if you do increase level by 1. And of course he gains attack equal to the level difference he has. So right now he's at 2000 attack, which is kind of nice. But we have some card effects resolving in the graveyard. We're going to have, I think we want the Dark Magician as Chain Link 1, and we want the Gadget as Chain Link 2, because it's the one that doesn't really matter. So we're going to resolve them backwards. Gadget is going to set the Stronghold Fortress Trap into our spell trap zone. Let's put it over here. This is not that special. It summons as an effect monster with 2000 defense, gains 1000 attack for every Sarcophagus of Light monster on the field, so it will actually be quite beefy. But its main thing is once per turn your opponent declares an attack and you control Gold Sarc, destroy that monster. I don't know if we even played this card, right? It seems kind of bad. But anyway, we can set it for free. We may as well show off that we can set it for free. So there it is, set for free. Then we got to resolve the Dark Magician, and he is going to be kind of cracked here. For one, he summons himself back. So let's start with that. He summons himself back because there's a level 5 or higher on the field, which is the Gandora. Also, I guess the 0 is also out too. But yeah, we can then set one spell trap that lists Dark Magician from deck. So what's cracked here is you can set secrets. Because Gandora is a dragon, and obviously this is Dark Magician on the field, you can go straight into your Dragoon from here, or your Dragon Knight, right? You can pick, but you can make Dragoon or Dragon Knight on your opponent's turn, obviously, because you have to set the secrets, or you can set this new card, the Dark Magician Mirror Force, which is just kind of good. It's kind of an effect negate if they try to destroy your stuff. I think it's just better to set the secrets, but I wanted you to know that you can definitely set this new Dark Magic Mirror Force as well. But we're going to set the secrets, and look, I'm not sure what else to do here. We've got a spell negate, we're going to pass turn. On the opponent's turn, we would just flip up these beautiful secrets of Dark Magic. Then both these guys to the grave. I think it's pretty worth it here to summon out the Dragoon. This does mean our Strongberg gets a little bit weaker, so you just summon it in defense mode. When you do summon this guy, oops, we're going to move him up here, and we'll probably summon him in defense because he's only going to have 1,000 attack. Each card you control, that is Gold Sarcophagus, or a monster. Okay, so he's 2,000 attack, but I mean, we probably put him in defense anyway. So we'll have a Dragoon negate, we have a spell negate, and we have a, when your opponent declares an attack, destroy that monster, and we have Gold Sarc. If your opponent special summons a monster from the grave, discard a spell, target one of those, send it to the grave. So we'd have to have a spell in your hand for that bit, and that's obviously 2 discards from Gold Sarc and 1 from Dragoon. But I think overall, this is a pretty good board, and we got there off Gadget plus one of these two. 2-card combo, kind of good for Dark Magician standards, right? Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Okay, so we can also use Gold Sarc of Light as an actual combo starter instead of the Gadget. We go Gold Sarc of Light and we can get ourselves the Gadget, then it all just kind of has to go a different way though. We normal summon the Gadget, and instead of getting Gold Sarc of Light, we're gonna have to get a different spell trap that lists Gold Sarc. In this case, you can get the Silence Towards the Future, which adds a monster from deck to hand that lists Gold Sarc, and then if it's the battle phase, you can draw 6, which is cool, but you'd probably only want to add the Marshy Marshmallow, because it has an actual effect on the opponent's turn if you have Gold Sarc, special it, and then when it's destroyed, special another one from hand deck banished. You do inflict 1,000. So that's cool, I guess. I don't really know if that's worth it. But what I think we should be adding in this case is the Ties of the Friendship. So I'm going to go ahead and add Ties of the Friendship to the hand. Activating this, we do get locked out of the extra deck, but it says if we control Gold Sarc and a monster that mentions it, which we absolutely do, you cannot special monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn after this card resolves. Also special 2 level 4 or lower monsters with different names from hand or deck and mention Gold Sarc. So the best 2 targets I can think of here are going to be the Silent Magician 0 and of course the Silent Swordsman 0, because Silent Swordsman 0 is a monster effect negate when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets Gold Sarc of Light or a monster that mentions it. You can quick effect negate the activation. So only if they target, my apologies. Not an effect negation that's generic. They do have to do something that targets your Gold Sarc monsters or cards, but it's still pretty cool. Then we have the Silent Magician 0, which is a spell negate, and that's pretty straightforward. It's just a spell negate if you have Gold Sarc up, which, you know, you should. So, we can't use the extra deck, but you can see from just Gold Sarc, we're able to get to this board, which, you know, isn't that bad for a 1-card combo. It has a spell negate and a potential disruption negate, and I guess the Tricolor Gadget is just hanging out on the field. He does have the effect when he is destroyed to set the stronghold, but we're not going to be able to resolve that here unless we had like a Gandora. And if that was the case, you'd probably use the Gandora before you activated the Ties of the Friendship, because yeah, you don't want to wipe these guys off your field. But anyway, there's another combo, so let me know down in the comments what you think of this one. I know there's no Dark Magician in this one, but if we're going to play the Gold Sarc engine, it's good to know this kind of stuff. Okay, this last one's more so to clear up what I think is a misunderstanding with Soul Servant's wording, but I could be wrong on this as well. This is just my interpretation of it. But some people have mentioned Soul Servant getting you multiple draws here. For example, if I used Magician Souls and sent the vanilla Dark Magician to the grave, and then I have the Dark Magician, the Ebon Sorcerer on the field, they both are Dark Magician, this one while on the field, this one while on the grave. People have mentioned, will you draw 2 from Soul Servant? And in my opinion, you will not, because it mentions, during your main phase, you can banish this card from grave, draw cards equal to the number of Palladium monsters, right, not Dark Magician monsters, Palladium monsters, Dark Magician specifically, and or Dark Magician Girl specifically, with different names on the field and in the graveyards. Now, I do understand it says with different names, but I believe this is referring to the different names being on the Palladium monsters, and being different as in the Dark Magician name different to the Dark Magician Girl name, right? Because you're not going to draw from multiple DMGs or multiple Dark Magicians. So I think that's the same ruling here, right? I know this does have technically a different name, but while this card's on the field, its name becomes Dark Magician anyway. So, you know, Soul Servant would only ever draw 1 in my opinion, so you'd be activating it. And fun fact, you can stack the Dark Magic Mirror Force with Soul Servant because it does list Dark Magician. Now, however, of course, you can only use it with a Gold Sarc of Light card, so it sucks that we can't even use this in vanilla Dark Magician. But we'd be able to stack Secrets here, or the Dark Magic Mirror Force, of course, or the Dark Magician if you wanted to do that too. But it doesn't really matter what we stack here. This was purely to show off that I don't think this will get you 2 draws. So we would banish the Soul Servant and just be drawing the 1. That's how I believe this will work. But what is nifty about potentially playing Magician Souls in this deck is Illusion of Chaos will be able to search this card because it mentions Dark Magician in its text. Not to mention, Magician Souls is able to send any extra gold socks of light you have for draws, since you only need 1 of them to get functioning, and you can only use its effects once per turn, but it doesn't say anything about not being able to activate multiple in a turn, so that's really cool. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm not quite sure on the deck list ratios other than gadgets, probably a 3, and gold socks probably a 3. I think the silent cards might be one of, since you can summon them off ties, and overall you don't want to open them because you don't really want to normal summon them. You'd rather special them off other effects. Silence Towards the Future seems pretty good, just being a Rota card. It's probably a 3 of, let's be real. I think just any card that's a Rota for the gadgets, or just literally anything in the deck, needs to be a 3, especially because this can potentially draw you 6 cards in the battle phase. Like, opening multiple of this is crack, because you search on your turn and then you set 1, and in the battle phase you just get to draw up to 6. Your opponent does too, but hey, you'll probably use all your hand before they do, right? In terms of the traps, I don't know if we play this or this, to be honest. I'm gonna put them in here for now for testing. Ties of the Friendship seems like a nice one-off, where when you don't want to use your extra deck, you can pump out both the silent cards, and that seems cool. Secrets could still find its place in this deck with this card being DM. Soul Servant, maybe not. You might still play a Magician Souls Illusion of Chaos engine because it synergizes quite well with all of these spells. Multiple gold socks on the field can be sent for draws with Magician Souls. Illusion of Chaos is able to add you this Dark Magician here as well, so if you wanted to use your Silence or your Gadget or your Gold Sock search to get, say, Gandora, you'd be able to use Illusion of Chaos to go get the Ebon Sorcerer, or if you got hand trapped, for example, on your search with Gadget or your search with Gold Sock, it's kind of like another way you could get to here, and you can also, once again, search Magician Souls off your Illusion of Chaos, sending the excess Gold Socks and other potential cards for draws. So overall, I can see some synergy with the Dark Magician cards, and this core. You probably just don't play the vanilla Dark Magician, to be honest. You probably just don't. It's probably a lot safer to just run Souls and Illusion of Chaos, and maybe some Soul Servant, since Soul Servant technically can get you this card or this card, which kind of seem nice in the deck. Now, I don't think there's a need for Circle, but I will talk about it real quick because, yeah, when you summon this card, its name is Dark Magician, so technically you can get the Circle banished. So, you know, you could say going second, this isn't that bad, but remember, when you activate that Circle, you can't add this card to your hand, which sucks. You can only add whatever actual DM cards you're playing. You can, ironically, add Dark Magic Mirror Force, which is so strange still. But yeah, let's talk about another card that is probably not going to see any play in this build, and that's Eternal Soul. These cards normally make the DM triangle, as we all know, but Gold Sock in this deck, along with this Dark Magician, almost fulfills this job by itself. Almost. It summons itself for free, as long as Gold Sock's out, and Gold Sock searches this. So it's almost like the new Circle and Dark Magician. I'm just wondering if we'll get maybe a retrain of Eternal Soul, which maybe puts Circle's effect into Eternal Soul too. Where, like, you know, it protects all your Dark Magicians, and it makes it so maybe they identify as Dark Magician in the grave too, or maybe it protects your grave, I don't know. It could do something crazy like that, and maybe it could say whenever you summon a Dark Magician, you know, banish a card. So it's kind of like Circle mixed with Eternal Soul. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping for, because they've given us a Dark Magician trap. It's clearly made just for the Gold Sock deck and not vanilla Dark Magician. So I do have hope. It's even got him on there, right? It's the same Dark Magician. So I do have hope. Potentially we get a Dark Magician girl. Obviously with the new retrain, where she'll be Dark Magician girl, the Ebon Sorcerer, or Ebon Sorceress, or something like that. I'm not really sure, but you know, something like that is probably bound to happen, since we've got a new DM and a Mirror Force DM trap. And you know, this whole Yugi kind of thing looks like it's going to be sticking around. So let's get excited for some Gold Sock Dark Magician. This seems to be the new direction the deck's going, and let me know what you think about it in the comments, because I'm pretty stoked. If this is the future of Dark Magician, you know, 1 card to 2 card combos that actually get somewhere is exciting. Obviously getting hand trapped, still very depressing, but I'm really liking how these cards play out. From just a normal summon gadget, you can get yourself in a Gold Sock, Dark Magician, and a bunch of other plays. That's really awesome. But anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you a big fan of the Dark Magician, the Ebon Sorcerer? Or are you more upset that the vanilla Dark Magician has kind of given up his spot and is making room for Nightmare Magician as an archetype and Illusions as an archetype, and, you know, also everything else. Just all the other DM cards that are being retrained as non-DM cards, as I've referred to in a previous video. Anyway, I've been LOZA, and I'm gonna chill and head out, but you guys have an awesome night or day, and I'll catch you next time. Peace. Can you believe that none of the Gold Sark of Light cards are actually on Dueling Book yet? I've had to make them all myself, so yeah, you're welcome, Dueling Book. Just gonna talk about how they could have made this card a little bit better, because after making it in the custom card maker, I realized I could have made it a vanilla monster, and I thought, well, this being a vanilla and an effect monster would have been huge. Summoning it off Dragoon means it would have been a vanilla then for that case, but also, this card becomes Dark Magician while in the Monster Zone is this card's second effect. If that text simply was Field, Rave, and maybe even Deck, that would be kind of sensational for Magician Souls and stuff like that. Now, of course, people have mentioned that might be too broken, but I do think it's the route they should have gone down. For this third effect, when it says if this card is destroyed by card effect or a level 5, well, for the third effect, it mentions that if this card is destroyed by a card effect and a level 5 or higher monster is on the field, you can special this card back, and then you set a spell trap that lists DM. Now, I would have had this changed to just when this card is destroyed by card effect, because, you know, then Eternal Soul wiping your board actually has a good effect, you know, go off. The level 5 or higher needing to be on the field is a little bit silly to me. Like, your opponent could just be playing a Link deck like that, or an XZ deck, like, it's really dumb. But anyway, they're my ways to fix this card.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.